Hello, hello. Excuse me. Just going to get some people invited here. And then we can start on Saturn Retrograde, okay? All right. Let me just get this shared in the group or in the event. All right. I was running a little bit behind. I had some fun, I guess, issues you could call it with makeup, and I had to help someone, just a few things. So I started a little bit later. Let me just get this shared into the group. Okay. Copy link. Okay, there we go. So I've prepared some stuff on Saturn retrograde, hoping that some of you will be able to join me. Let's just see who hops on here while I invite some people, and then we'll get started. So say hi when you hop on. Hi. Okay, not sure. Oh, maybe I could do this today. That's how. I'm definitely coming into Mercury retrograde shadow for sure. I'm noticing some fun technical difficulties that I've been having. Interesting. Let's go like this. No sound right now. I don't know how to invite people. Anyways, you guys can invite people. Say hi when you're on. So let's get started. I see there's two people. That's okay with me. So Saturn is going retrograde today. It is considered the planet of responsibility and hard work, but also great rewards is what Saturn is also known for. So when planets tend to go retrograde, they affect us very much. Most of us are very aware of Mercury retrograde, which is coming up. I'm pretty sure. Let me check. Maybe I'm doing this early. May 22nd. So, yep, it is retrograde. Yeah, you scared me there. I was like, am I doing this on the right day? So, yes, Saturn is retrograde right now. Saturn tends to be, a powerful energy. It, let's see here. What does it say on this one? Planet of discipline, hard work, limitation, responsibility. So I encompass this energy with the energy of like the dad. So dad energy, the stern dad. And when it goes retrograde, it kind of affects us in an internal way. So as Saturn makes its retrograde, it is a time for us to revisit the past, to reflect on what we need to take responsibility for to transform our life. This is an opportunity to rebalance some karma. So Saturn tends to go in cycles. So this is going to be a 4-month cycle. Oh my goodness, my eyes. I had so much troubles with my makeup today. That's why I was late. Forgive me. But yeah, this is an opportunity to reflect on what you can take responsibility for, and when you become aware. Awareness is the key to growth. So, looking back, I didn't even realize it was going retrograde. I've just been really locking into my astrology lately, so that's why I've been sharing so much of it. Saturn retrograde can be a great time of illumination. This particular transit is all about figuring out our individual comfort levels to survive during these tense times. So, lots of, checking structure, lots of, seeing where you can rebalance things. Independence is a big theme this retrograde, being that it's in Aquarius. So, seeing where you can gain your independence, where you may be stuck in a cycle, or being a bit codependent or looking to others for things. If you're feeling things slow down, don't take this as a bad thing. So for the next 4 months, if you're feeling like things suddenly just slowed down, it's not a bad thing, because with all healing, you have to go inwards, and um, it's kind of like, you retreat into a cave and you do your inner work, and then you retreat, or you retreat from your cave, and you've done some serious vulnerable healing, and that's kind of what um, yes, it is a huge lunar eclipse. There are some big things happening all within the same week. So that's why I wanted to hop on and do this, because Saturn being retrograde, Saturn is a very like karmic planet. So being aligned with the um, Sagittarius total lunar eclipse, full moon eclipse, um, in just a few days here, which I have an event for that as well. So we'll be going live on the day of the lunar eclipse. You'll learn some tips and tricks for that. But you just really want to understand that during this process, if things are slowing down, understand there's a purpose for it. These energies are all meant for your highest and best interests. So don't be hard on yourself if you're used to everything being super accelerated. Just go easy on yourself. Understand there's a process happening. So take this time to evaluate your structures to set life up to work. So this is going to be a lot of inner reflecting over the next 4 months of where you can change structures so that life can work a little bit easier for you. Have a look at where boundaries can be implemented, and self-discipline. So these are going to be your key words for um, the next 4 months. Where can you implement structure, boundaries, and discipline for yourself? That's how I decode this. Sorry, my eyes are driving me insane. That's how I decode this energy, is those key words. And then I'll explain that after. Anyways, um, so looking where you can implement structure, boundaries, and discipline. If there is something you struggle to do, let Saturn's retrograde assist you now. So, this is an amazing opportunity to change some paradigms in your life, to shift some structures and disciplines that you may not have had the energy to back you up before. And now it's basically saying, like, hey, you have that energy. If you take the knowledge from today and apply it for the next 4 months and be conscious about it, you can restructure some serious um, way that you operate in your life, and it can be really powerful. This is where quantum leaps come. This is where big growth comes, is working with these energies, understanding when to apply them, when to understand you need to go inwards and stop for a little bit, and know when you need to push and explode externally. That's when you can ebb and flow better with these energies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't vibe with Saturn. He made me go back to school when it was transiting my 12th house. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it can be a tough energy. So these are exciting times, because using this energy correctly can help you align to your soul's purpose. This is a powerful time to restructure paradigms that have you locked in a place in life that no longer aligns with you, with where you want to be. So take this energy. Don't just waste it. Don't just flow through life. Yes, things will still change for you, but do this in an amplified way. That's why I want to teach these different workshops and these different events, because it gives you the opportunity to really amplify your life and really shift in and grow and do these things that you didn't have the discipline to do before. So it doesn't mean that there's not still going to be hard work. It doesn't mean that you're not still going to have to apply yourself. It just means that you have a little bit of energy backing you up. So Saturn brings with it the energies of emotional maturity. Saturn being the rule of self defeat and self determination is important to understand. The responsibility to trauma, fear, and uncertainty will look different for everyone depending on circumstances. Emotional maturity is the capacity to hold space for the range of possibilities that exist. Not everyone is open to expanding their life. It sometimes takes the death of all that is to make space for all that will be, and this takes courage. So this is a time where you really want to go inside. If things are slowing down, allow that energy. That's totally normal and totally fine, but have the courage to listen to the call. Like, look at all these alignments, even collectively, that are aligning people to awaken to their soul purpose, that are aligning them to take these, offers. Like Crystal has an amazing opportunity with Thinking into Results. Follow her in Unblocked Academy. She has drastically changed my life. So listen to that. Have courage to go where your spirit is guiding you. If it's my mentorship program, have the courage to reach out. You don't have to know how you're going to do something. That's the biggest thing in manifesting. You don't have to know where the money is coming from. You don't have to know how you're going to do it. You just have to know and make the decision that you do want to do it, and then follow the steps afterwards. So if it's something that you're resonating with, just reach out and book a call with me, and we will have a look at using these energies in the way that I do in my mentorship program, because it's a really powerful program set up to really help people in using these energies to really shift into the life that you've been wanting to live. And look at this week, it aligns exactly with when this mentorship is about to start. Like, this is some powerful energy. Yeah, I don't vibe. Yeah, it is a time where you can be sneaky and just lollygag as long as you have a plan by the time it goes direct. Yes, you can, or you can really view into this energy and use it to its most capacity. That's what you really want to do. So um, that's the link in the comments to book a discovery call with me if you're feeling called to do that. So Uranus, the planet representing liberation and accessing authenticity, will influence Saturn's cycle, indicating that breaking away from the known path is not a question, it is a given. Stay mindful of personal boundaries related to technology and the amount of access you allow other people to have. This is important. This is for everybody. This is something that you really want to be mindful of over the next 4 months. You might be experiencing opportunities to implement these. So, people crossing boundaries, people trying to take up too much of your time. It's good to help people, but it's also good to recognize when somebody's taking advantage of that and they are asking too much when they should be doing it themselves. And that's when boundaries really need to be implemented, not only for yourself, but for the best of everybody involved. Because doing too much for another person is not going to help them with their soul purpose. It's not going to help them with their path. It's going to enable them to stay the same. And that is not a gift to anybody. That is taking away somebody's opportunity to change. So you want to be really careful with this. Um, you are your own authority, so you decide what is. Saturn retrograde invites us to reflect on the structure of our lives. Hold space for yourself to discover new ways to structure. So I'm not going to go too much in depth other than that, but this is a really fantastic way to really, and I'll open it up. I did want people to book sessions with me. so that I could give them a little bit better of an in-depth. So, but if anybody's on here and they want to know how to use this retrograde to best structure their own life, it can be found in the natal chart. So you want to look to where Saturn retrograde is falling, what house. So for myself, I'll use myself as an example. Um, Saturn is retrograde in my fifth house. In a couple degrees, it will move into the sixth house, which would be health and wellness. So, how I want to use this energy in the next 4 months is um, really having a look at, my diet, because I'm going to have that extra influence behind me, so that once it goes direct, I will already have made the structure. I will already have broken the paradigms that have to do with diet. I want to use this energy in the sixth house. So I'm going to focus on um, what it involves. So health, wellness, service to others, and pets. So I would say that I'm already aligning with service to others, but with everything else, I am going to implement leveraging myself to work out more. So how do we do that? We do that by putting ourselves on the line. We put this by letting other people know we're going to do a challenge, because at the end of the day, that is what is going to help motivate us to go do these things and break these paradigms. Because, paradigms are these subconscious processes that go on in the mind. And until you break them, you're going to continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. And this is an opportunity with this alignment, with the lunar eclipse, with Mercury retrograde, to really get some structure and really kind of ebb and flow through these energies. Not so much Mercury retrograde, but with these two, events happening this week, you have the opportunity to really get the most out of these. Just changed my work schedule so I could be here. Aw, 20. I know, I'm sorry, you guys. I know that I said I would go at 11, but if I did that, I would have looked scary. I had, fake eyelashes half glued up to my eyebrows. It was quite the mess. I just did, it was not graceful this morning. My makeup took way longer than it normally does, and I was already committed, and I didn't want to hop on with glue all over my face. So so that's kind of how my day's been going, but that's okay. I'm just going to allow and flow. So Mary, since you're on here and I have your information in your chart, I'm just going to have a look at where this energy would best be used for you, because I know that you follow me a lot. I know that you use my advice. So let's have a look. Where is it? In your fourth house going into your fifth house. Hold on. So you're going to want to focus in your fifth house. So the fifth house rules hobbies, romantic interests, children, and creative pursuits. What you find most fun and how you have fun can be found by the sign on the cusp of this house. The kind of romantic you are, how you want to be courted, and people you date and fall in love with are also ruled by the fifth house. Children are ruled by this house, the personality types and approaches towards them, what you are most creative with, what you feel best at creating falls here as well. Generally, people with planets here, except Saturn, are highly creative people. Okay, so you're going to want to be focusing. My Venus sextiles my moon, and Saturn is in my Venus, which has been feeling like such an interference, emotional releasing. Malia, let me know what house you're transiting Saturn is falling into. So, 20, you want to be focusing your energy in the next 4 months into your creative pursuits. Um, you know, Figuring out where the boundaries are for that. maybe how often you're doing that, maybe creating a discipline to actually do that because it might help soothe you in some way. You want to be structuring your boundaries in your relationship with your children. I know it's kind of funny because Malia's actually on here, but this is going to be where you want to focus your in the next 4 months to really implement something that is going to be for your highest and best good. So maybe anywhere in your structure with your children or anybody that is close to you that you view as children, how to implement to best look after both of you. You know what I mean? It's going to be sometimes boundaries don't always feel good, but at the end of the day, after they've been implemented, both people end up being feeling more safe and enjoy that better. I think it's more so to do with creativity. I think this is going to be disciplining yourself to get into the creative zone on a regular basis. Transiting Saturn is in my second house. Okay, so let's see, second house. You already know this stuff, but I'm going to do it anyways because it helps other people in case they have the same thing. Where are we? There we go. All right. So the second house rules your disposable income. Values, I already knew this, but I wanted to read it out. Self-esteem and self-worth. The sign of the cusp and planets within this house show that the profession you could make the most money in. They also show your approach to money and what your overall feelings are about money. They show how your values lean and what kind of ethical code you adhere to. Your own feelings and self worth and self esteem can be shown in this house as well. This house could be considered one of the career houses along with the 6th and 10th house. So, to me, how you would want to implement this would be financial budgeting. Financial budgeting, finding your self-esteem. I think this is going to be a really big transit for you in the next 4 months to really create some self-worth paradigms for yourself in a positive way. I used to I use the word need since we are talking Saturn. Yes, I love the word need. She does need to. She needs to find what it is that the creative vibe feels good to her. And for you, I really think that it is very much financial, I would say. Self esteem and self worth. So maybe implementing shifting some paradigms with your self worth for sure would really help. Once it starts going back direct, you will just be flying if you start tapping into this. Excuse me, sorry. Um, and career, you know, yeah, self-worth home for me. Yeah, for sure. So, maybe implementing some structures and boundaries for yourself as to getting in there and actually dealing with the self-worth. Like, how do we deal with the self-worth? This is something that we deal very bigly. I just made up a word. Very strongly in my mentorship course. I can't believe that's so funny. Um, this is something that we deal with very strongly in the Phoenix Transformations 12-month mentorship program, helping people to shift this in a way that actually creates change. And if anybody's been following me, you will have noticed that this has happened very drastically for me in the last 7 months. So I know processes and spiritual development techniques to even further that even more. So you're going to want to really, look into some subliminals if that resonates with you. I've been thinking of a chanting course to start up since some people say they don't know what chanting is out. That's amazing. That's amazing, Mary. I would love that. Bigly, very Saturn retro of you. Bigly. I think that's so funny. I'm going to laugh about it all day. I said the word bigly. It's my new favorite word, by the way, now. So it looks like it's just the two of you. I know Sherry's going to hop on and watch the replay, so I'm just going to do a little interpretation for her. Only because she told me she was going to watch the replay. So, Sherry, this one's for you. Oh, you're going to find this one interesting. Now, keep in mind, each person is going to interpret Saturn retrograde and how to deal with astrology in their own way. This is my unique process. This is how I interpret energies. This is how I find that works best for me. That's why I want to pass it forward is how to look at how the transits are most going to affect you. There are all kinds of layers and ways that you can look this up. And I just find that looking at what house it falls in, typically has a good way to show you how to get the most out of these energies and where they're going to most affect you. So, Sherry, the seventh house is where Saturn is falling retrograde. It looks like it's mostly going to be in your seventh house and some of your eighth, but mostly your seventh house. Um, the seventh house rules all of your one-on-one relationships, called the descendant or the DC for short. It's along the axis of the first house, house of self, and is the house of others, marriage, how you feel about commitment, and what you expect in a relationship, personal or business, and the kind of partner you're attracted to for a relationship, personally and in business, fall under this rulership of the house. This house also rules your open enemies. So this is going to be, I know this is probably, I just know that you're probably going to get some fear just hearing that, but this is going to be a big transit for you relationship wise in both what you're doing business wise, friendship wise, relationship wise. It's going to be about creating, boundaries in that, boundaries for yourself in how much you give forward and what your connections are, where you're spreading yourself too thin. This would be a fantastic way to move forward because once Saturn goes direct, you'll have all of these, structures implemented. Yeah, it's powerful. It's very much I feel business wise for you as well because you've got a lot of things going on business wise, and I think that this energy is just really going to get you in there. And if you focus on this for the next 4 months on letting go of things that are no longer serving you, I know this is already kind of aligning with you. You're already like subconsciously getting in tune with this energy a few days ago and for the last little while. But really focusing on this, spending some time over the next 4 months. Understanding if you're getting resistance in partnerships, understanding if you're getting resistance in relationship, that these things are coming up to help you to almost give you a push to implement some structures. And let me just see if there's anybody else that I have in here that normally hops on for replays because I want to make sure that everybody gets their best. Jessica Jones normally does, so let me get into hers. Where are your Aquarius at? Oh, first house into the second house. First and second. So, second house, you're going to want to pay attention to what I said with Malia. You are going to have quite a bit of that transit in your second house, but it's also in your first house. So, let me read that out. It is your sense of self, but I like reading it out anyways. So, astrology. This is how it's worked for me. So, everybody has their own journey for astrology, but this is where I resonate. Okay, so the first house rules how you come across and compare how you come across as. Compare this to the sun, which shows you who you are with those you know who know you best. The sun is the inner you, while the first house is the outer you. The sign on the cusp and the planets in this house will have a major influence in your outer personality, looks and presentation, and the general energy you exert. One interesting note about the first house is that we all tend to want to put our best foot forward. So we tend to play up mostly the positive aspects of the sign on the cusp and planets within the house. The first house on the axis with the seventh house, the exact opposite house, and is also called the ascendant or AC for short because it's derived by finding the sign ascending on the horizon at the exact moment of birth. The sign on the cusp is also called the rising sign. This house is the house of self, whereas the seventh house is the house of others. The first house is also ruled by Aries. Okay, so Jessica, I would say this energy mostly is going to be about inner structures for yourself. It's going to be how you show yourself to the world, and I know this is going to align very strongly with you. So over the next 4 months, it's good. And I would say because you're taking the mentorship course, very much in alignment with the first 4 months of the course. It's very much getting into your self-worth, because this is the biggest part of who you are and how you manifest. Because if you don't have the self-worth, you're not going to be able to attract the resources, the people, and the events in order to further your life, because you don't believe in it. And when that undercurrent of energy is there, how are you supposed to magnetize things to yourself? Yes, it would be helpful to get a cheat sheet what certain words mean. Sextile, conjunct. Mary, I have that in the group. So if you go into Phoenix Transformations and you go into guides and you go into astrology, there is actually a cheat sheet there that explains what they are. Do I? Oh, I take that back. Do I not have them? Yes. I don't think I posted that. Twinny, I will get that posted in the group. Thank you for that. I thought I had this posted, but I don't. So I will have a detailed post about what they are. What are you wanting to know? Which one? Saturn retrograde is like a collective party. It's been supervised and that's been supervised, and the supervisors have stepped out for a while, but they will be back, so don't get too crazy, but some room to breathe for a change. Yes, it's kind of nice. It is more inward, but it is quite um, quite an opportunity, especially with the eclipse. So trine is free flow of energies, areas of talent, no friction, often underused, no problems, too easy. And sometimes when you have too many trines in your natal chart, you're going to have lazy energy. Sextile is supportive energies, opportunity, finding, not releasing, helpful abilities, intrusive occurrences, and a few other things. So I will get all those details. Opposition is conflict of energies, integration required, counteracting contradiction, balancing of opposites, being on both sides, backbone of the chart. So it's really getting to know astrology is very much like layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. So thank you for bringing that up. Very divine timing. I will make sure that that is put in the astrology guides so that people know what these different aspects mean, so that you can get to know that. I definitely thought I had that as a guide, but I overlooked it. So very much appreciate that intro. Let me see if I have anybody else, and then I'm going to hop off because I have a business meeting. Who else? Who else normally hops on here? Miss Harley. Harley normally hops on, so I'm going to do hers, and then I'm going to hop off. But this is, a really awesome opportunity to just kind of create some structure. Okay, so Harley, you were the seventh house. Same energies that I explained for Sherry. You can go back, watch it in a replay again, and just have a good listen to the energies. So that's my short little event for Saturn retrograde. You were just thinking, Harley, yeah, she's been quite a big support. She's going to be doing her weekly intuitive readings in more depth in the mentorship course. Um, so lots of opportunities for her coming up. She's definitely going to have to be doing the structures in the relationship. That's going to be where she's going to want to focus her energies. What birth time do you have for her? Wow, that makes so much sense for her in the seventh house. I might have her old birth time because I have 8 a.m. on the dot. So I probably don't have her accurate time. She hasn't given it to me. Do you have it, Malia? If you have it, I'll input it right now so that I can have a look at the accurate one. But that's the one that she's given me previously before. Just post it in the comments. I'll check out the link you posted here. Yes, for sure. It's for the mentorship program. It's a discovery call. That's the link. The aspects I haven't put into the group. I thought I did. I overlooked it. You reminded me. That's very divine timing. So I will make sure that a good explanation on the different aspects of the natal chart is posted in our guides in Phoenix Transformations, my group. It is a free spiritual development group that aligns with my mentorship program. It is not the mentorship program, but you get a lot of free guidance of stuff that a lot of astrology for sure, because that's where I'm aligning right now. But a lot of tips on how to best understand your life. No, she doesn't know her actual, but yeah, I have her rising right on the galactic center. One feels very in alignment with energy for her. Is it? Yeah, yeah, I see that. Okay, what else is going on there? Oh, her Saturn is actually in. So her Saturn is actually retrograde in the seventh house in her actual natal chart. So she's going to definitely be experiencing this, maybe more so than she'll align better with this for sure. This is old hat for her, these energies. So awesome news for you, Harley. Okay, so thank you for joining me. Um, what are we, about 40 minutes? Sounds great. Time for me to get ready for work. Awesome, Mary. Have a great day at work. I'm just going to hop into my business meeting. Any of you that are interested in the mentorship spiritual development course, it's a 12-month program going to be happening here on June 1st. It is a introductory offer right now, so the prices right now are not going to remain this. They will be going up quite significantly after this. There will be opportunities to join the mentorship at a later program at a later time when you feel called to, but this is going to be the only introductory offer that I'm going to be having right now. So if you like the things that I teach and you align well with it, and you have been feeling stuck and you want to create more structure in your life, you want to manifest in a actual way that is going to create lasting change, I can definitely help you with that. If you were looking to help heal some of the blockages and the traumas that are getting in the way of that, I have a great system for that as well. Very good at helping with some uh, communication with relationship wise, like love, but also in just connecting to people in a healthy way, creating boundaries. That's what this whole program is all about. So there's a lot of astrology used in the systems for all of this stuff, to help get into programming your subconscious mind in the most effective way to create lasting change quickly. So astrology is a great tool for that. It gives you a lot of guidance as to what your wounds are, how to, where they are, what it is that needs to be worked on in this life. Gives you a bit of a roadmap. So using that kind of stuff to help people with my knowledge with the subconscious programming is going to create some really powerful quantum leaps for people. So very excited for that happening. If you want to check out what the mentorship is all about, I will post a link here in just a sec. Here we go. There we go. So that is a link to get to know some more information about the mentorship program. There's 2 pages on it. First page tells you what it's about, and if you click course outline, it will take you to another page that gives you all the details of what's going to be going on in the 12 months. So very exciting. The first link that I posted in the beginning of the video is the link that you're going to want to be using if you want a one-on-one session to discover whether you're a good fit. I only have 12 spots available at the introductory rate. They're going very fast. I'm very grateful for how many people are interested and how many people have already signed up, and just want to keep letting people know that it's happening. I am not just letting everybody into the class. There has to be a proper alignment and proper desires to change your life. So that's what the discovery call is all about, is to find out what your needs are, whether it's a good fit for you, whether it's a good fit for me, and just to get to know each other, connect, and see if this is going to be what you need for your next step in life. So thank you so much for joining me for Saturn Retrograde. I'm really looking forward to implementing some health and wellness structures into my life over the next 4 months. I will keep you guys posted with how that's working. I'm going to fuse that with my knowledge on how to reprogram the subconscious mind, creating different effects into my life, and see how well this helps in that area of my life. So thank you for Mary and Malia for joining me live. It was fun. Oh, cool. I can go to the site and still watch you. Yeah, that's fun. Okay, so have a great day, you guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching the replay, all of you guys. Those of you that I did a little interpretation when you watched the replay, I love you all. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Oracle readings. I'm going to do individual oracle readings, just like Harley does for our weekly, her Wednesdays with Harley for Mind Body Soul Healings. I will be hopping on and doing actual individual intuitive readings. I will not be reading from a book. I will be getting divine messages for you. So you can use that as an opportunity. I kind of aligned all of these to best work with these energies in the next 2 weeks. So we've got some oracle readings in the oracle reading event, which you can hop off this video and go into the events, and you'll see all of the events that are up and coming for Mind Body Soul Healings. And make sure that you join me live. I don't know what the time is for that. Let me just double check. Where's the events? 11 a.m. So it's another 11 a.m. I will not have my eyelashes glued all over my face. So I'll actually be live at 11 a.m. tomorrow to do some live readings. So if you want some guidance, you want to know, some messages from the universe, hop on. I will tune into as many people as I can get done in the time slot that I have available for this event. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day. And I look forward to seeing you for the lunar Sagittarius total full moon lunar eclipse. It's going to be an amazing event. It will be way more in depth than this one was because it's a very powerful, powerful transit. Also, very much for me as it mirrors a lot of stuff in my own chart. Okay. All right. Have a great day, you guys.